Seth Greenberg, no relation, with us all morning long. And we talked about the game specifically earlier this morning. Seth, I want to talk a little bit about the bigger picture. The guys on KJM Radio asked me this question this morning, and I will ask it to you. With Coach K now stepping into retirement, he has been the face of the sport and the preeminent person in the sport for so long. With that second championship last night, does Bill Self position himself as the person to step into that space?
If you look at just wins and losses, Greeny, yes. I mean, Hembo just sent me this great stat. It's absolutely unbelievable. Since he became head coach at Kansas, he's the winningest coach in all of college basketball. He's never been lower than a 4 seed. A 4 seed. Having said that, I think there are a number of faces. I don't think he separates himself. Obviously, the second championship separates him. All right, that's in rare air. But again, they still have this NCAA thing that's hanging over their head, so I'm not sure where that stands. None of these players were involved in that, so I mean that has nothing to do with it. But it still has to be, rectified. But I look at college basketball today. I said Bill Self's probably in that conversation. Jay Wright is in that conversation. I think don't forget about John Calipari. He's not going anywhere. He's still at Kentucky. Kentucky will always be in that conversation. And then a guy like Hubert Davis, I think he's going to emerge as a voice of college basketball. The manner in which he carries himself, his voice is going to be heard. You can see his ability to connect with players. You can see how he conducts himself and carries himself. North Carolina and Hubert Davis will always be in the conversation. But right now in this moment in time, Bill Self has separated himself as a coach. The success he's had with different teams, changing style of play, agility. As a coach, winningest coach since he's become head coach at Kansas, never been lower than a 4 seed. That's absolutely incredible.
And so how'd they do it last night? For those who maybe didn't stay up late and watch the game and all of that, it's a team that hits you with a lot of runs, right? They were losing to Miami in the Elite Eight. They just blew the doors off of Villanova at the very beginning of that game, and then they did at the beginning of the second half last night. What is it about this team that they were able to put together those spurts that really decided these games?
They got to the next play in the second half. They dominated the second half. They dominated the second half against Miami in the Elite Eight, and they dominated the second half last night against North Carolina on the defensive end. This is a team that could get stuck offensively. When you get stuck offensively, how do you turn it around? You get stops, you get out in transition, you play ahead of the defense. And then at the end of the game, a couple things happened. David McCormick happened. They played through David McCormick. That offensive rebound he had at the end of the game was absolutely huge. But that would have been insignificant if they didn't come out in the first 10 minutes of that second half, get stops, create turnovers, get out in transition, and play ahead of the defense. Because in the half court, they really got stuck. Bill Self's message at halftime was basically, look in the mirror, we've got to make a stand, and it's got to start on the defensive end. You can't get back in the game unless you get stops. And they got stops and turnovers and baskets.
It was a great NCAA tournament in the last 2 games. Duke, Carolina on Saturday night, and then this one last night. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.